Hello there. It has been a long time since we've last seen each other. Hey, it's me, Enid. And up until the last few days, I didn't seem to be able to film myself without crying. I don't know. It's been a traumatic few months. And yeah, I fear that comes through very much so whenever I tried to film something, even if it was as simple as cooking a meal. I cooked some black bean brownies. All these things I enjoy doing and they are part of life, but somehow I'd end up talking about something and crying. So yeah, we'll see what goes into this video. We're gonna find out together, which is great. I have now officially moved to a new place, and the stress of moving is now behind me. I wasn't sure if I was going to manage to film anything in the old place before I left, but I did get a few things. The actual act of moving was not like, the most traumatic thing ever. It was just that it was coming off the back of a really bad couple of months, which I will explain as I go along. I'm in that stage between having paid my new bond and receiving my old bond back. So things will get easier once I get my bond back. My housemate that moved out last October left some furniture that they don't want. So I have just been selling a few things, and I have $50 cash that I got for a bed. So that is my grocery budget for the week. I need to get Vella some food. I've been getting her the fussy cat, like raw kangaroo meat. Goat's milk has kind of been my comfort food lately, and I can't. Psychologically, I cannot cope without goat's milk right now, so that's $6. So there's not much left after that. I do have a few things left over, and I am going to Coles because I don't want to drive to two places, and Coles has my goat's milk, and Bella's food. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. So I've been making like a big pot of food and then just eating it for the next 5 days. So I think if I do that, I just need to buy ingredients to make one dinner, and that should do me for the week, hopefully. So this is what I have left. I'm starting to pack things up. I got some tuna and some sardines, got some mayonnaise. This is my lentils and beans and things. Some coffee bags. I bought those because I had to travel back to where I used to live. Jeez, was it last week? I think it was last week. Yeah, so I needed coffee bags. I was staying with my son, and I just didn't think that they were going to have coffee, and as far as I know, they didn't have coffee. It's a share house with boys. So anyway, I have some popcorn again because I traveled last week. So what else have I got? I have sugar. I still have some protein powder left, and some baking things. Bella's got 2 boxes of food. I have a little bit of honey. I have a bunch of rice in here. The fridge. Just using ginger and garlic in a jar to make my dinners. I look a bit rough every day for months now. But I don't think it's gonna get any better anytime soon necessarily. So either I turn up looking the way that I look, or I don't turn up at all. I traveled to where I used to live last week, and there was a court date which had been adjourned many times, and finally it was the trial date, and I needed to appear in person. And then I turn up at the courthouse. The police prosecutor that had been put in charge of the case, I've had a few because it's just been adjourned so many times. So it's been over a year. So it was a different police prosecutor to the one I'd heard when I'd called into court over the phone. This was his first DV trial. I feel that because it was going to be his first DV trial, he really just didn't want to do it. So I'm not the applicant. The way it generally works is if there has been an incident, the police will apply. So I'm not the applicant. I have no power to withdraw or make any decisions about what happens when it goes to trial or before it goes to trial. So basically, I have no say in what the prosecutor does, but the applicant is a police officer. Basically, I get there. There's a special room for the aggrieved. It's the aggrieved and the respondent are the two parties. And the aggrieved has a special room. So I did not see my ex. I have a feeling that he was able to see me. I don't know, just I know that he was out there, and I had my back to most of the windows were frosted, but there was one that wasn't. Obviously because like the police officer and the prosecutor, they sit on one side where they can see out the one window that's not frosted. So yeah, anyway, I assumed that he saw the back of me, but I did not see him. The prosecutor announces in this room that he's decided to ask for a long adjournment. All that stress in the lead up, all the preparation, it's been, I don't know, I feel like other people could cope with the stress better than me, but it's been adjourned. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the year. It was a very tough time. Some of you have been lovely in the comments and we've talked about this. It turns out I was never going to be questioned. I did attend court for the trial, but unfortunately it was adjourned. I spent a lot of money getting up there seemingly for nothing. It achieved nothing. So I'm a bit upset about that. I did get to spend time with my son, which is good, but again, I could not afford it. But I had to go there because I was subpoenaed. All right. This is $39.50, I believe, is what I spent. Out of my 50s. So I grabbed Vella her food for the week. These are not the most cost-effective options, but it is much cheaper than eating out. I'm in the middle of moving. I'm basically just throwing all these things in a saucepan. Grabbed a tin of coconut milk. I think that was $1.30. And then I have one onion left. So I'm gonna chop up an onion. Honestly, if I wasn't doing this for a video, I wouldn't even do the onion right now because it's just how it's been going lately. I'm just throwing whatever's easy in a pot and cooking it, and this will do me like 5 meals. It's got lots of protein in it. I'm also gonna throw in a can of kidney beans as well, so even more protein. Oh, and peanut butter. So I'm gonna put a tablespoon of peanut butter, coconut milk, garlic, ginger. I do like it with soy sauce, but I don't have any soy sauce. I didn't want to buy soy sauce because I have to move with anything that I buy. So I'm hoping to finish these off and just have less things that I need to transport. Yeah, I also have work in less than an hour, so I need to be a little bit quick. The car is full of my stuff because I'm moving 2 hours away and I actually have the new rental already. But it's a 2-hour drive there and then a 2-hour drive back. So I've filled the car to do another trip. So I've been there once to pick up the keys, and yeah, I've just filled up the car so that I can head back over there. am in a rush because I have to run a session for work. Should go check the time in a second. I'm just gonna put the tofu juices in. I would normally brown off the chicken a little bit, but I don't have time. So put the coconut milk in. Put 2 teaspoons, a whole bunch of garlic. I always prefer fresh garlic, but I'm just not up to it at the moment. Things keep going bad. All right, some peanut butter. I go 2 big spoonfuls. There we go. So I will simmer this for 10 minutes, then I will add my stir-fry vegetables. I've got a bit more in the freezer as well. And let them cook for like less than 10 minutes probably, just until the vegetables are cooked. And then it will be done. I'll just give it a taste, add more salt if it needs it. And yeah, that is the dinner that I've been making. And then I just split it up into 5 portions. I know for a while there I was like, I don't like eating leftovers, and I really don't necessarily like eating leftovers. I would rather cook every day, but I'm just at a stage where I'm struggling to cook. So I usually like to let it simmer a little bit longer, but I'm running a 1-hour session in like 20 minutes, and I probably need to be there 10 minutes early, so I'm just gonna stick the vegetables in now. The chicken is cooked, that's the important thing. It tastes fine. I don't think it needs any more salt. And yeah, I'm just gonna add the vegetables, let them simmer for 5 minutes, and then turn this off. I probably won't get a chance to eat it until I finished my session, but I will just leave it on the stove with this lid on, and hopefully Miss Bella, who is over here right now, hopefully she leaves it alone. All the frozen food needs to be used up. I'm making a massive mess, but it's because I'm rushing. It'll be fine. I will clean up later. Okay, I have finished and I am back. I got 2 pieces of toast to go with tonight's dinner. Bella is feeling quite intense about my food. I am barely making it through uni at all at this point. Everything is falling apart. I am struggling to concentrate and do anything. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know if it's just my iron. I don't know. Like, I don't know why, when the trauma that happened last year was like really fresh and new, why I was more able to concentrate and study than I am now. It's like I'm doing arts units and it's just an essay, and I have done so many essays. Why can I not write a simple essay? I will say that what has made things even more difficult in the last 12 months is that one of my ex's defenses is claiming that I'm mentally unstable. And it's hilarious because the reason I don't feel like 100% mentally okay in the last 12 months is the trauma that I have experienced. So I have felt extra pressure to not admit that I'm struggling because somebody is calling me mentally unstable. And so I'm like, no, I need to be extra sane. Not that I'm not sane. I'm completely sane. So there's been a pressure to not admit that I'm struggling, but like I can't admit that, you know, like I've been struggling with depression or that I've been having flashbacks of what happened a year ago. Like I feel I can't talk about those things because I've got someone saying that I'm mentally unstable. So like, yeah, if that makes sense. So I think it makes it worse if you can't even like admit that you're struggling with something. You have to be 100% sane, and who is 100% sane? What even is that? And why am I using the word sane like it's a thing? But it's been very difficult. But like, these are naturally stressful things. So anyone else was finding it stressful, I'd be like, well, of course you're finding it stressful. I'm going to take some more things from the wardrobe. I have a few things you saw that I have hung on the washing line. So yes, I'm going to take a car load to the new place. So it is a 4-hour round trip, so I'm just gonna quickly unload and probably come back. Because I'm moving somewhere smaller, I feel like I have too much stuff, because I've been quite lucky and I've had like these 2 massive wardrobes, but one wardrobe was basically used for like office things and paperwork and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking at some point I will need to buy some furniture. So this is 1 carload of stuff. Got the mattress that I managed to get in my car by folding it with ratchet strap thingies. So I'm gonna see what I can fit where. Here is my clothes in the wardrobe. I was at my storage unit when I had to go back up to where I used to live. But it was such a stressful time, I completely forgot that I wanted to grab my tripod. I couldn't afford to also pay for checked baggage. So yeah, I couldn't really bring anything much anyway that didn't fit in my carry-on. But I probably could have fit the tripod had I remembered, because it's a nice tripod and it folds down small. The tripod that I currently use just came with like a cheap light from Kmart, so it's not really a proper tripod. It's just designed to hold a ring light, but I use it. So one day I will have my proper tripod. And when I properly move, I will have my other tripod here. But for now, you're on top of some boxes. So I have a decent sized kitchen, and the bathroom has plenty of storage space. But other than that, it's just this wardrobe. So I need to organize it so that it'll fit like my linen, and obviously my clothes, and I've got a few books and bits and pieces. Eventually I think I will get like a little bookshelf maybe. I don't know, I'm just going to wait and see, because I will definitely buy secondhand, so I'll just keep an eye out. I'll just see how I go before I make any decisions, because it was a little bit painful getting rid of excess furniture when I moved out of the last place. You're on top of the little chest of drawers that I brought with me. My previous housemate left 2 little, I guess they're bedside tables, not chest of drawers. They're little, but yeah, my pajamas and underwear and stuff is gonna go in that for now. Hopefully I'm here for a good long while, but I don't know what's gonna happen in a year from now, so the less I have to move or get rid of, the better. Okay, this is what you're on. I think it's looking okay. Reminds me, I need to buy light bulbs before Monday. So, it is technically Friday. I don't know what time it is. I don't go to bed at normal people hours. Don't know if it's PTSD or what, but I can't sleep until the world has woken up in the morning and I can, like, you know, hear people leaving for work and yeah, so yeah, but it is what it is. Tomorrow I have someone who can help me move the fridge and my mattress. So I moved our old flatmate's mattress on my own. I think I mentioned that earlier in this video. So I managed to fold that one and put it in my car. It was a double mattress and it wasn't as thick. So I think that was like my maximum weight that I could lift on my own without giving myself a back injury, because I've had a really sore lower back since moving that mattress. It's okay, like, it's fine. I also sit too much. So I have to move out Monday. I have to hand the keys in on Monday, and it's technically early morning Friday right now, and Friday is moving day. I don't know why I'm finding this move emotionally difficult. Like, I've enjoyed living here. I like the area. I like the house, but yeah, I've only been here a year. And I knew that it was like temporary, so I don't know why I'm finding it so difficult. I know that it's not this house and it's not specific to that. It's just like, I don't know, it feels like there's been a lot of transitions in the last year and I'm just struggling with this one for some reason. Yeah, I feel like I've reached my limit in recent months. I've passed my limit in recent months, which is why I have not been making videos. How are you doing? I'm good. Did you want some food? Is that what you were saying? Yeah. This is out of order, but a few days before the clip that you just watched, I made some black bean brownies. Is this highly likely to break my little cheap Kmart blender? Absolutely. Am I going to do it anyway? Yes, because I'm using up some ingredients before I move. I'm making some brownies, keep me going, and this is just how I do it. And so far, so good. The blender has not broken. How much baking powder do I need? Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm out of practice. Look, it's cocoa and sugar in a bowl. I will put the recipe in the description below. Basically, put all the wet ingredients into the blender, blend it all up. Then I'm going to put the dry ingredients in a bowl, and then I'm going to put the wet into the dry, and then add some chopped up chocolate. Yes, I could be chopping this on the chopping board and not getting little microparticles of foil in my chocolate, but am I going to dirty the chopping board just for this? No. The recipe says 30 to 40 minutes. We will see what my oven does. I will check it in 35 minutes. Don't fall.